Cynthia, almost everyone thought your marriage to Peter wouldn't survive, and it didn't. So we gonna talk about Mal and her anti-Penelope Thomas Bailey stance. She just didn't want her sister to go broke. Yeah, that scene didn't age well. Weren't they divorced by next season? We'll find out. If it wasn't season 5, it was season 6. Yeah, Andy shouldn't have said your marriage was thriving. No, it wasn't. That marriage didn't thrive like the businesses didn't thrive. But then again, he said this is an epic 3-part reunion, so he just uses words without knowing their meaning. Mal can't make it through a single conversation without bad-mouthing Peter because there's nothing nice to say about him. He ain't that cute, he's broke and surly. Oh, Penelope Thomas is on the couch, wedged between Nene and Cynthia. Was he the only husband to show up? I guess Apollo wasn't charged yet, so he didn't need to be there. Everybody wanted to know why they threw the anniversary party when they were broke as a joke. Because Penelope Thomas Bailey needs to stroke his ego with Cynthia's coin. Cynthia said, look, this bum ain't going nowhere. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. I know when she got divorced, Mal off camera said, now I hate to tell you I told you so, but told you so, told you so, told you so. Peter said Mal should focus on her own marriage, which we know also dissolved. Oh, you gonna regret the way you treated Mal when you and Peter don't make it. No, she won't. Mal was out of line, and that was it. She can have her opinion all she wants, but she was out of line. Oh, goodness. Cynthia gonna say, no one can predict what's gonna happen between me and Peter. Not, I love him and we gonna stay together forever. That's my rock, that's my rib. No one can predict. Already giving yourself an out. So now we're talking about Nene and Peter's affinity for each other. It's just the brokenness. All that was he recognizing Hank. Now, Nene, nobody was saying that you really wanted Peter, but y'all was real close to not be together. So I can see the girl's point. It was a tee-hee too-hoo, but you taking it too far. This is the big-headed Nene we don't like. Peter said, I think Nene and I are a lot alike. Both broke and both desperate. After all, Nene got married for a coin too. He said Papa Smurf got some paper in his pocket, so I wasn't offended by it. Papa Smurf lived in a mushroom. How broke do you have to be to live in a mushroom? Living in a mushroom on a commune. The Smurfs didn't even have money. They weren't protecting anything from Gargamel. I don't know why he wanted to be bothered with them, but he was going to use them for some spell or something. Oh, we're bringing out Croy and Apollo. One stupid from each corner. A big and a short slow. Oh! I love the almost skirmish between Penelope Thomas and Apollo. I wonder who would have won in that fight because Penelope gave Matt that work. I gotta look at a wizard and a dragon? This is too much. Child, I do not have time to listen to old wizard stumble and trip over his words. Oh Lord, Apollo wants to do the funeral home, but he wants to be on the financial side. You know you can't trust him with a book. He may not read it, but he sure will manipulate it. So now we bring up Phaedra starting the issue with Peter over that old Uptown article, and she felt a way about it. No, she needed a plot line. She needed a moment. Ha ha! They asked Phaedra, you gonna do a donkey booty clothing line? And she said, no, that's overdone. Well, actually, it's underdone or never done. Isn't that right, Sheree? Oh my God, how long are we gonna have to listen to this corn-fed crow? Shut him up. A sneak peek of don't be tardy for the wedding. Oh honey, I'm not showing up. Don't worry about my tardy. Worry about your own. Now we talk about Kim and Kandi after the fleecing. That's what happened to the friendship. Once you take $80,000 from somebody, y'all ain't friends no more. Now we getting into Black Baby Gate. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? Ain't nothing funnier than Kandi arguing with a mouthful of food, cause she ain't gonna stop eating for you or for anyone. Just like me. Ha! Kandi said, I'ma slap Kendra for saying you held that little black baby. Don't you talk about nothing with Kandi except her. She ain't gonna get mad if you talk about her, but don't you talk about her man. Don't you talk about her kids. Don't you talk about her mama wig. So Kandi brings up a good point. Kim, you ain't cool with nobody in the group and you never wanted to go on trips. You just like to hang out one-on-one. And that's what Kandi was really saying. So Sheree finally apologizes because Kandi didn't say what Sheree said she said. Because Sheree, you were so busy trying to carry the bone, you forgot whose bone you picked up. Cynthia brought up a good point. Sheree, since you felt away, why didn't you say something in the car? Because she needed something to take back to her boss, like Nene said. Phaedra even came with the truth for once. She said, yeah, Sheree didn't seem upset in the car. Ha ha! Andy said, by the way, where do things stand with the tardy for the party payment? How's your friendship holding up? Kandi said, no, she ain't pay me nothing. That was a learning experience. So we finally move on from Black Baby Gate with no real resolulu. Not pimp my funeral with Faye. Phaedra, why get into the funeral business when you've got a bustling law practice? Well, because the law practice is a lie and she needs access to dead people's social security numbers. It's that simple. How do you think Apollo ended up back in prison? Now we talking about Apollo's job and Phaedra just as bad a liar as Sheree. He's recovering monies. I don't know how the repo man got out there. It would have been a better job and honest living since he likes to take things that don't necessarily belong to him. Phaedra, you're right. Everyone does deserve great representation, which is why you should retire as a lawyer. And now we're going to bring out Marlo with, you're a whore. And the way Marlo said whore, it had a little Rob Dixon to it. You're a whore. So we start with both them heifers pretending to date Charles Grant. Oh, now this is back when Marlo looked rich. I mean, she had on couture. That hair up bone straight, honey. That was a new fresh wig. Didn't have a henna pack on it. So Kim, what was your issue with Marlo's sugar daddy since you definitely had your teaspoon in the bowl? Well, I had to go home. I didn't want to hear it. My boyfriend was right there. You always act so embarrassed, but you were so proud to be a concubine. But now you want to act like you never did it. You just like Nene. Skipping and then shying away from it. So now they gonna bring up the Miami trip when Kim brought people and Nene got mad. Well, that was a tour. So other people were going to show up. So Nene was just an idiot for that. Bringing Marlo, she said, would make things even, 3 talls and 3 smalls. Nene, just admit you wanted to surprise the girls and be an ass.
Marlo says, Kim, when you said I use my hole to make money, it really bothers me because you are a whore. We're not cut from the same cloth.
The little smirk on Kandi's face said takes one to know one. Got Eros ads up right next to each other. You don't know to call me a whore. You were dating a married man. Who dates a married man? Tyler Perry characters, that's who. Marlo know all her business. She said, oh, Big Papa was still paying on that ring. You just paid the difference and turned it in to get your ring because Troy couldn't afford it. How you know I'm an escort? You don't know nobody I know except Kendra, whose house you renting. All right, so that was the episode. The second one was pretty sorry.